Hello everyone, let's talk about KIRAKIRA PRECURE episode 38, the pecketing episode. Finally, we have an episode centered on our dear mascot Pecketing, and it was very nice seeing her human form. I really liked it, and it's interesting because the opinions on the internet are very different. People love her, people hate her, people think she's boring, and in general, people's opinions are very different when it comes to her human design. Particularly, I liked it a lot. I think that her design fits her personality very well and it fits Pecoding's theme very well. But I think that the biggest point about Pecoding's design that I like so much is probably that she doesn't really look like a regular human child. She looks like a fairy child. She looks like a child that comes from another world, another dimension, a candy dimension, a sweets dimension, or something. And well, now that I said Candy, I think that Pecoding and Candy together, they would make such a great duo. They would be amazing together. I would love to see that. Take notes from maybe an All Stars movie in the future. I would love to see them interacting. They're so alike. And well, it was interesting. First thing, it was interesting because Pecoding's been growing so much. And even though Pecoding is not a mascot that is very preeminent in this season, she's always there with the girls, cooking and baking. She's always trying to help, she's always trying to do something. And it's interesting because last season with Mofurun was a centerpiece of the season and the centerpiece of the Precure mythology in that specific season. And it's totally different from what we have from Pecoding. Pecoding is just there to be cute and just for us to go like, ah, because she is so cute and I love Pecoding so much. But her role in the season is very different from past mascots. And well, there are lots of mascots who are like Pecoding, who are worth nothing when it comes to abilities, when it comes to helping, when it comes to actually doing something to the Precure aspect of the season. But in this season, I think that Pecoding is just there. Pecoding is just there to help the girls and just there to feel cute. For us to feel endeared towards her. And at least in this episode, we've had something different from Pecoding, and she was a key point in this episode, not only in the human part, but also in the Precure part. So we've seen her turning into human by intervention from Cure Lumiere. That's a very interesting point. That was a very interesting point in this episode. Cure Lumiere appeared some episodes back and she helped the Cures, but she probably saw Pecoding's struggle and how much she tries to help and how much she tries to unite everyone. So she gave her this ability. She infused her with more Kirakiraru, and then now she's able to become human. So, based on this premise, when Pecoding turned into a human, she went shopping for the first time. She wanted to help the girls, and the episode it dedicated lots of times, lots of scenes to Pecoding's shopping spree. And I am going to be really honest with you. I adored it. I usually don't like slice of life. I usually don't like anime that's geared towards children and that focuses too much on cute stuff. But I can't say that I didn't like it because I adored it. Pecoding was so cute in those moments and I was so entertained by her and I was kind of concerned just like Ichika was. Her motherly instinct was there overflowing her and I was feeling my motherly instinct as well. I was like, oh my god, is she going to be able to fulfill it? Oh, Pecoding, please take care. When Ichika told her not to go running because she would fall, that was such a cute moment. And then she started walking. I was like, oh my god. And I don't know. I just don't even know what to say. I just loved it. And I was so shocked in that moment when she was playing with that baby and then she turned into Pecoding again, into the fairy Pecoding again. I was like, oh my god, no, just turn back again. Now what are you going to do? And then it was interesting because, she was human for the first time. And we know that this ability is hard for them to get. It's not an easy ability for fairies to get. And she was not in perfect control of that ability. And it was also cute seeing her bake for the cures. The song, at least, there's always something bad, right? The song in this episode, the insert song, was dreadful, disastrous. Oh my god. I just couldn't. But it was very cute also watching her cook, and it was also very nice seeing the girls watching her from afar, the fairies watching her from afar. It was really amazing. I don't know, I feel proud. Like, it's like she's my daughter, she's my baby, and I'm proud of her. I'm proud of Pecorin's growth, and I'm proud that she was able to become human, and she was able to cook for the girls, and she was able to cook donuts. And I would love to see her as Cure Donuts, but I don't know, I don't think that there's time anymore for this season to, to insert a Cure here. But anyways, at least her participation was nice, because then we've had Grave with his car, and then we know Grave is now stronger than he was before, and it was clear because Grave was able to defeat the girls very easily, I think. I think the biggest problem with KIRAKIRA is that the fights are so boring, and they can't really create some nice fights. Sometimes they can, but usually they can't create nice fights with the powers they have. And when the season started, the creators, they were more creative with their abilities, but now I feel like they're kind of lacking. They're kind of boring. And I think that in general, this episode, the fight in this episode was very boring, but I loved Pecorin's scene at that moment. And I felt kind of sad because it was a sacrifice. Pecorin sacrificed herself for the cures and to infuse them with Kirakiriru, and she used the Kirakiriru that was keeping her in her human form to help them. Because Pecorin was so excited of becoming human, and she was so excited for doing so many other things. She was going to cook, she was going to learn how to bake with girls, she was going to enjoy life with the girls in public space as well, not only in Kirapati, not only in personal spaces, but also in public spaces. I was happy for her, but seeing her give her powers up like that just to help the girls fight, it was beautiful. It was sad, but it was beautiful as well. I think Pecorin is the purest character in this season, so that's why she's able to gather this much Kirakiraru in whatever she does, because her feelings are the purest feelings out of every single character. So, the Kirakiraru storm, it's all because of her purest feelings. And it was nice seeing the girls with those circle, donut-shaped Kirakiraru powers, and then I was at least expecting them to use them in a more creative way. Unfortunately, it was not the case, but they were able to defeat the monster. And the last thing that I wanted to say is that just before the last thing, Grave is learning how to deal with this power, so he's probably going to come back, and he's probably going to come back even more annoying, and he's going to give the girls a run for their money. I am sure of that, because next episode, things are going to get heat up. But before talking about next episode, I want to talk about the ending part of this episode, because it's interesting, because the mascots in this season, they know nothing about Precure, and they know nothing about their powers. So Choro-sama, who is the wisest one, who is the one who knows most, and he doesn't know much. He has no idea why Pecorin became Pecorin again, fairy, and she couldn't go back becoming a human. Yeah, it's probably because of the Kirakiraru she used, but he doesn't really know how to explain that, and I mean, those girls are totally lost, because the mascots in this season, they can't help them at all with their cure powers. At least they have Cure Lumiere looking over them, as we saw in this episode. But the last scene of this episode, we finally saw Picario moving. And we know the next episode, our dear friend Giulio is going to be back. So Picario is probably going to wake up, because in the next episode, it seems that we're going to have an intense fight in the Strawberry Hill, and Picario is going to be there to help the girls. And I think that in the next episode, they're going to wake up at least the decor they're going to use their power-ups. So I feel like we're getting close to the power-ups, but it's not going to happen next episode, because next episode we have something even more important. Unfortunately, next week there is no episodes. there's no new episode, so we're gonna have a new episode only from 2 weeks from now. I mean, every time we have something nice like this, we're gonna have to wait even more to see Picario again. Well, what can we do, right? Guys, thanks so much for watching. Let's talk about Pecoring and her human form. Let's talk about all of our expectations for Picario and everything else. Thank you so much, and until next time, bye bye.